What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. It is great to be back on all things Liverpool related. Look, I enjoyed the Euros, lots of fun, lots of great games, but it's time to focus on the Reds. It's time to talk about Klopp's boys, and it's time to look ahead to a whole new exciting season. As I'm sure you're all aware, the Reds, a lot of them have touched down in Austria for the training camp. The pre-season fixtures are being released. We've got loads of links to get through. It feels like an eternity since I've last been on here talking to you guys, and it's only been a few days, so I hope you're all well. Look, my commiserations to the English people watching over the final and stuff like that. But, it was a great tournament overall, and I think, the English team did the nation proud. And look, I won't touch on it too much. It's more about Liverpool from here on in, but I just wanted to close that chapter off in the whole Euro stuff. Lovely to have you all with me. I mean, I'm absolutely... Let's start with a picture, shall we? Let's start the stream with a nice old picture to put us all in a good mood. And look at this. Things that you love to see. This. Mohamed Salah smiling. Harvey Elliott back. Look at that man mountain Ibrahima Kanate and big Virgil van Dijk back in training with the Reds team. Oh! It brings a tear to a grown man's eye, ladies and gentlemen, seeing the Reds back in training. The pre-season camp in Austria is underway. Obviously, those players who were on international duty a little bit longer, those that were in finals and those that were in the Copa America and went late into the tournament, they'll go off on the holidays and they'll meet up with the boys a little bit later on. But yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's great to have the lads back. It's great to see a smile on Kloppo's face. Some of them boys looking rested. But most importantly, I won't lie to you, the sight of Virgil van Dijk back out there on a training pitch fills my Irish heart with loads of joy. Makes me a very, very, very happy man indeed. As Liz said, that picture is pure joy. To me it is, Liz. And do you know what? Somebody put up a great picture today of Canada with a beautiful backdrop of the Austrian Alps, I think it is, the Austrian mountains, and it just looked like there was two mountains in the picture because Canada is a big unit of a dude, isn't he? I mean, Canada and Van Dijk, or Gomez and Van Dijk, or Gomez and Canada, I don't care. I mean, I'm just delighted we got the lad in. And look, there could be some more good news coming over the coming week or two. We've loads of stuff to catch up with, loads of transfer rumours, loads of gossip. I've got loads of stuff to get through, so yeah, I hope you're all well. Again, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you giving up some of your time. I was sad today, then I saw Virgil said Kate, there you go. I mean, Virgil van Dijk, if he doesn't make you happy, Kate, I don't know what will. We've got a fan in that says City to win the EPL. Nobody calls it the EPL unless you're American. Please stop. It's just the Premier League. You don't need to call it the EPL. It's just the Premier League. Just there's some things give away sometimes where people are from. It's just not the EPL. It's called the Premier League, mate. You know what I mean? Silver plaque is back. It is indeed back, looking magnificent. My one's still in the press over there somewhere. I don't even look at it, to be honest with you. My mindset is silver one done, achieved. Let's look ahead and try and get to the gold one next. So yeah, what do we want to start off with? What transfer rumour would you like to start off with today, ladies and gentlemen? Rory said, Craig Fabrizio has said he has an update on SAUL tomorrow and I can't wait to see. I have reached out to me good old pal Graham Hunter in Spain to see if he has any update for us, and he hasn't had a chance to look at the voice note I sent him yet. So if I do hear from Mr. Hunter, or if he could shed any light on the SAUL stuff, there is no better boyo place for Spanish football than Mr. Graham Hunter. So if I hear back from Graham, and of course if he gives me the go ahead to pass on anything, I will of course do it. If he hasn't heard anything, I will of course tell you that as well, but I'm just waiting for Graham to get back to me, because as I'm sure you can appreciate, he is a very, very busy dude. Right, what have we got? Harvey is too young. No, he's not. There's no such thing as too young. Harvey Elliott's class. He's quality. Look at him. He's magnificent. Any news on Kelleher on loans? No, he's not going anywhere. He's staying. He's the club's number 2. Adrian's the one that's behind him. Gianluigi Pitaluga also has shown up for the training camp as well. We do know that we've moved on Camille Grabara. We've moved on Liam Miller. We spoke about that previously. I heard Saul is going to go to Barca. Oh, every time I hear a player linked to Barca, a little bit of me dies inside, because I know I'm going to have to explain once again that they can't even register the players that they've signed now, let alone go and sign any new ones yet. So Barca are in a whole lot of trouble financially. They need to free up somewhere around €200 million. They've got a contract ready for Messi. They've got Memphis Depay. They've got Aguero. They've got players that they want to register, but they can't because they have financial regulations and wage caps and salaries and all that stuff that they have to sort out with the La Liga before they're able to do so. So you know, if they're going to start signing players, we definitely have the march on them over any players that we're both interested in. And look, I'm not saying 100%. Let's start off with Saul. Let's start off with him today. So let me just get the image up on the screen so we know who we're talking about. We've decided we're going to start introducing the images, make it easier for people to come in if they want to click in and look. So look, there is a report that comes out today, and again I'm going to just get it up on my phone just to make sure I don't give out any fake information. So there's a report that comes out today that suggests that this comes from Mundo Deportivo, who are in Spain, and the report goes on to suggest that he has 1 foot, or half a foot I should say, in Liverpool with SAUL. And look, as I said, I have reached out to Graham Hunter about this. If I hear it, I'll let you know. But you could understand it. I mean, he wouldn't be my first choice. I'd be happy if we signed Saul Niguez. As I said to you guys many times, he's bulletproof. It looks like, we know he's a €150 million buyout clause. Nobody's paying that. Atleti don't expect anybody to pay that. What I've been told, and again I don't know if this is true, I'm sure I've read it other places as well, but remember when we signed Andy Carroll and we sold Fernando Torres? Well, it seemed that price was, those two deals were connected. So from what I've read and been told, Atleti want about 5 million more than they have to pay for Rodrigo de Paul from Udinese when they release Saul. So it looks like the price for Saul is probably about €45 million, give or take. Now this article goes on to suggest that Liverpool have had a €40 million offer knocked back for the player. They go on to say that Liverpool look him as a future Gini Wijnaldum replacement, yada yada yada, all the stuff that we've heard before. But look, one thing about Saul is, if you're looking for a Gini comparison, the best one I can give you is they're both bulletproof. They're never injured. This man has missed 18 games in his entire career. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, well, at least I know of in the last 6 years anyway. He's missed 18 games. So if Klopp's looking for somebody who's reliable, somebody that's been there at the highest level, somebody who, you know, is very adaptable, can play anywhere across the midfield, has a good engine on him, knows a bit of shithousery, will be a leader. You don't work under Diego Cholo Simeone at Atleti and not learn a thing or two. So while Saul wouldn't be my number one target, I'm not going to complain if he comes through the doors, because at 26 years of age, we'd be getting somebody again coming right into the peak of their powers. €45 million is a very, very fair price for somebody of his quality. And yeah, good age as well, as people are saying in the chat. 26 looks, you know, in the peak, coming right into the peak of his power. So I'd be happy. It wouldn't be my number one choice, but I wouldn't complain. The one that does have me more intrigued is, of course, Youri Tielemans, and we'll get on to talk about him later on. Someone said not an exciting signing. Yeah, but no, nor was Gini, mate, when we signed him. And look how well Gini went on to do. You know, sometimes a bit of consistency is alright. Nothing wrong with a bit of consistency, nothing wrong with knowing what you're getting. And with this guy, we would absolutely know what we're getting. Somebody said just get Renato Sanchez, way better and cheaper. Saul is 27 and overpriced. He's 26 and he probably isn't overpriced, if we're being honest. €45 million, about £37 million for somebody that's done everything that he's done. I wouldn't see that as overpriced, mate. I'd see that as pretty good value in the market, to be honest with you. Everyone that you're mentioning in the chat, don't worry. I have a long list to get through tonight. Strap yourselves in. We'll talk through all the players you want to talk about. We'll go through the Malins. We'll go through the Renato Sanchez. We'll go through Youri Tielemans. I've got you covered, folks. Traore, Damsgaard, Bellingham. I've got news for you all. Don't worry. Relax. It's going to be a while. Sit down, chill. We'll have some fun. Saul is a baller. People shouldn't forget. Look, he's a fine player. And as I said, excuse me, there's been probably 5 midfielders that I can remember this summer that we've been linked with where I've gone, sound. If he comes in, grand. Renato Sanchez, sound. Saul Niguez, sound. Youri Tielemans, sound. Neuhaus, I didn't know too much about him, but if Klopp wanted him, sound. There's loads of players that I'd be happy with. But it's just great to know that there is going to be one coming in. Now, according to the gospel of all things transfers, Fabrizio Romano, it looks like the priority for Liverpool first and foremost is to get a wide attacking player in, and a midfielder is next on the list. Now, who is that wide attacking player going to be? Well, your guess is as good as mine, but we can make an educated guess on it. And this gentleman, yes, actually, let's go with this go. Let's go with Berardi. Sorry, I wasn't meant to go with Berardi, but let's go with Berardi. So again, I'm trying to get the article up. So Corriere dello Sport, based out of Italy, obviously, say that Liverpool have made have concrete interest in Berardi. I don't believe it. Leicester City, AC Milan, as well, apparently interested. And look, I don't believe this one. I've got to say, I don't think Liverpool do hold an interest in Berardi. That's not to say we don't. This is just, again, my gut feeling on it. So I also, you know who I want. I said it numerous times. I want Jeremy Doku. That's the player that I want. I'll get on to another wide forward in a while, and we'll talk about him. But I don't know about this one, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what are we talking price-wise here on this one? 40 million euro apparently Sassuolo want. And look, again, fair enough price. But as good as Italy have been during the World Cup, and they are during the Euros, excuse me, and obviously they were amazing. They went on and won it, and they're, God knows how many games were beaten out, 34, 35, something like that. I don't know. I want Doku. I mean, call me deluded, but I want Doku. Would I swap Milner or Jones for Basuma? Why would you ask the question, mate? Do you honestly think that, let's say, for instance, we went to Brighton and said, here, do you want 35, 36-year-old James Milner for Yves Basuma? I mean, like, if you're going to ask questions, and, by the way, thank you for the super chat, and spend your money, you know, make it realistic. And no, I wouldn't swap either of them, because we shouldn't be looking to offload any of these boys. We've lost a midfielder in Gini Wijnaldum, and we should be looking to bring one back in, so I wouldn't be swapping anyone, let alone Curtis Jones. I mean, my ambitions for Curtis Jones are lofty. I think this dude is legit going to be one of the top midfielders in the Premier League. I think he's going to be brilliant. So no, I would absolutely not be swapping him. I'd like Basuma, another fine midfielder. That was the fifth one I was trying to think of earlier on, actually, Manzarama, so thank you for reminding me of him. All those 5 players I've listed, if they came in midfield, sound. I'd have no issues with it whatsoever. A couple of people saying they take Berardi. A load of people again saying I want Doku. So do I. And again, one thing we know about Doku is that we've been tracking this guy for years and years and years, and we've solid interest in him, and he's the right age profile for me, and I just think it's a better fit personally. Now there's another name that I'll get on to in a minute. Pedro Neto, somebody saying in the chat, again, from my recollection, there was a piece written by Andrew Beasley around Pedro Neto, and he suggested that it could be an option further down the line for Liverpool. They may look 1 year down the line to maybe bring in Pedro Neto if we were to, let's say, lose Salah or Mane or... No, I'm not saying he said that. The second part of this is just my thought process. Sorry, I'm still getting over this infection, so I have a bit of a lingering tickly cough. I'd like Chiesa. He was very direct last night, said Pat Moynihan. Yeah, I mean, again, what I would say is Liverpool aren't really a club that do reactionary signings. So because somebody went and had a good tournament, and I'm not saying about Chiesa, because look, Chiesa's a talent, no doubt about that, but we're not people to... We've made that mistake before. We've gone out there and we signed El Hadj Diouf, and we signed other players who had good tournaments, and it came back to bite us in the arse. So what I'm saying basically here is that I don't think we have interest in Berardi. I could very well be wrong, but for me, we've been tracking players for 2, 3, 4 years, and they're the players we'll go after. It won't be anyone that's just burst onto the scene. It's be people that the club have been tracking and monitoring for a very, very, very long time. I really think Damsgaard is better than Doku, said Joe. I mean, happy to move on to talk about Damsgaard, mate, while we're in that area of the pitch. So let's bring up Damsgaard. There you go. Apparently, the price Sampdoria won for this... It is Sampdoria he's at, isn't it? I keep getting this one wrong. Yes, Sampdoria. That they want is 34 million quid for Damsgaard. And I've only seen him in the Euros. I will not lie, I did not see 1 minute of him wearing a Sampdoria shirt. Not 1 minute. So... obviously, I've seen his amazing free kick in the Euros, and obviously he had a very good tournament, and he looks like a talent. Now, this guy, I could see Klopp looking at. If we're talking about the right type of profile, the right price point, the right age, definitely. And I'm sure that unlike me, who only found out about Damsgaard during the Euros, that Pep Lijnders and Klopp and Fallows and the recruitment team will absolutely know all about Damsgaard, and will be somebody that they've known about for years. So... that would make far more sense to me than Berardi. Just, again, my take on all of this. Now let me drop into the chat and see how you guys feel. RSH14 said, I hope we don't have an interest in Berardi. Do you think England deserved to lose last night? Nobody deserved to lose. I mean, I think for it to have gone all the way, I think was fair, because I think it was an even contest. So, look, penalties are penalties. It's a lottery. You know what I mean? It is a lottery at the end of the day. And I said it before when I was doing the commentary on the game. I'll say it now. I would never ever hold anything against a fella that misses a penalty or a woman that misses a penalty, because it takes guts to step up there and take one. I've been in positions in finals when I was younger and stuff where, even though would be our club penalty taker, I've missed an important penalty. So, you know, I would never hold that against anybody. And it's a horrible way to lose a game. It can be a very good way to win a game, but it was tough for England, I will say. And it's, you know, everybody would have preferred it was ended in the 120 minutes rather than having to go to the lottery that is penalties. Can I say happy birthday to Oren? Of course I can. Oren, my little man, how are you? Happy birthday. Hope you're having a cracking day, fella. I don't even know this. You are a little man. I assume that maybe this is your dad or something. But even if you're somebody's mate, happy birthday, dude. Thank you for watching. Lots of love from all of us. We need the perfect striker, said Abrar. We don't really play with a striker though, buddy. And look, you know my take on it. I've always believed that just stick Mohamed Salah through the centre, bring in another winger, we're good to go. Mohamed Salah knows where the goal is. We've seen Ronaldo reinvent himself as he got older into a striker, and I think we could see the same with Mohamed Salah. Now, as good as it was to see Mo so smiling again today, and, you know, in Austria with the rest of the boys, we still need to hear news about Mohamed Salah signing a new deal, so that's something we've got to keep an eye on as well. Here at Barcelona, there are some rumours of SAUL plus cash for Griezmann swap. Thoughts? I don't think that Antoine Griezmann going back to Atleti would be something very palatable to the Atleti fans. From the outside, I've got, you know, I'm just putting myself in the position of an Atleti fan. Now, I've no idea what his relationship was like in the end with Simeone. I've got no idea. But, you know, he messed around Atleti fans one year with the Will I Won't I video. Said he was staying. Next year he pissed off to Barcelona. If I was Atletico, I wouldn't want the lad. I think, you know, take the money from Liverpool for Saul or whoever comes in for him and go get yourself someone that you actually want. So I would question it, but I won't knock Atleti as a club because they're a damn fine football club, and Simeone has just signed a new contract with them as well. The Wanda Metropolitano was obviously a fantastic stadium, a place to play football. So look, I don't know, but I'd be surprised if that was the case. But I'm not surprised to hear of Barcelona trying these type of deals because they are in a mess financially right now. Right, some more talk on Damsgaard from you guys before we move on. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday, Kyle. Happy birthday, dude. Would I take Dembele for free? Well, yeah, for free, of course. But he has had a very sketchy injury record. Obviously missed the Euros as well, with France picking up a knock. But, you know, there's no denying the lad's football and talent. My only question around him has always been, would Klopp take him from a point of view of his personality? You know, I don't think I'm speaking out of class when I say it's been reported that he's had some attitude issues, even when he signed for Barca. But, you know, he was a young man when he made that move. But look, I don't think we'll be seeing him if I'm being realistic here. So on Damsgaard, give me a couple of yeses or nos, or people that have watched them, what you guys think of him. Would you take Dembele for free? I think I've just covered that one as well. Manasaroma, thank you again for the super chat, dude. You're very kind. Have you seen Griezmann and Dembele being racist video? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Sorry. I was trying to think back. Is this a recent thing, or are we going back a while? Because I do remember, I think, Griezmann doing something stupid maybe a year or two ago, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about here. Replace pens with 5 free kicks. That's the idea. There's an idea, Robert, that the MLS have used before. So think of ice hockey. So you know, in ice hockey, the player takes the ball from the halfway line and goes one-on-one with the goalkeeper. That used to be done in the MLS as well back in the day. I think it was even spoken about before on one of the TV shows. I mean, every time one of the clubs or countries that we love loses a penalty shootout, you know, we're always looking to reinvent the wheel, aren't we? I mean, I've done it loads of times if Liverpool have lost a penalty shootout and stuff, but that's the only other thing I could ever think of, where the player picks the ball up and runs from the halfway line and goes one-on-one with the goalkeeper. But then again, how far is the keeper allowed to come out? I suppose that wouldn't really matter, because if the keeper does come out, the player has the option of chipping him. But that's the only other thing I can think of, is that one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and you get one chance to shoot. And if the keeper stops it from going in, even if it rebounds back to you, that's the end of the opportunity. That's the only other thing I could potentially think of. But on Damsgaard anyway, let's have a look. Would you take Damsgaard? Because I've loads of stuff to get through, folks. So by the way, strap yourselves in, because it could be a long one tonight, because we've lots of stuff to get through. I took a few days off. I missed you. I want to make up for it. They're mocking Asian people. Why? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's disappointing, and I don't get why people are that silly and stupid, especially when you're a public figure like they are, and role models like they both are. I mean, I haven't seen the video or the WhatsApp messages or whatever. I can't say, but I don't know. I thought and hoped that as a race of people, and by race I mean humans, that we'd all move past this. It's risky to sign a player based on one tournament, said Brent. Mate, I would absolutely agree with you on that one, fella. And it's always that yeah, that's what I'd say. We don't make reactionary signings on the Klopp and Edwards. It's not what we do. We track players for a long time. We have huge dossiers on them, into their personal life as well, what they play like. I mean, I remember a great article from Melissa Reddy about the time we signed Roberto Firmino, and the amount of research that went into watching just him. We watched them playing in snow, we watched them playing on wet days, we watched them playing on hot days, cold days, all different types of conditions, to see how he adapted and how he performed in each one of those. So yeah, none of these moves are just like, oh, he played well, let's go and sign him. Those days are well and truly gone. There is so much analysis available on players these days, you know, GPS analysis, training images, Y-Scout stuff, so much stuff that it's a big, long, drawn out process to get to the point of actually signing a player. What have we got? So if Salah moves up, who would that winger that we go after be? Aha, well, you've led me on very nicely there, sir. Thank you. Who was that? Was it Brynjar? No, it was EJ Astanatonic. Let's just call you EJ. Right, let's move on, because there was another winger. This gentleman, Adama Traore, a name that has been long linked to Liverpool, and somebody who Wolves did want to sign a new deal. They didn't get to agree it, but so here's the story that I read on this. Apparently, Wolves want around 45 or 50 million, but 25 million was an inquiry made from Liverpool around Adama Traore. Now, I cannot say with any degree of certainty whatsoever if this is true or untrue. What I will say is, again, what I've told you before. He has had trouble, I think, with his right shoulder, a lot of dislocations. I think twice last season, 4 times the season before, if my memory serves me correct. And look, he's a beast. He's a pacey fella. He's direct. He is a very, very, very good option. But, you know, at 25 million, I mean, I get it. If the medical stuff's fine, if they're happy with the shoulder and all that stuff, great. But he wouldn't be my number one choice. I'd be lying if I said that he was. But to test the waters at 25 million, I mean, it's a reasonable number. You know, his value is probably more than that, but what do you guys think? I mean, I've seen Saint-Maximin shouts in the chat as well, and again, not ever seen any real links to Alan Saint-Maximin from Newcastle, but, you know, I imagine his value would be a lot higher. So yeah, Adama Traore, what are we thinking? Do you think that Liverpool have put in that low? I mean, that low of an offer wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, we do know we like to be cheeky and we like to lowball. That's the Michael Edwards way, and we salute him for that. But I don't know. It's a long-standing one, this, so I really don't know if I feel that it's nonsense or if there's something to it. It's a tough one to gauge, this one. Of all of the things, this one genuinely is a tough one to gauge for me. Jersey Boy said, legend Craig, gonna apply for the host position. Yes, we are looking for somebody to help us out on Anfield Agenda for the upcoming season. Probably with daytime content, really. So I'll be doing the watch-alongs, the late night agendas, all the normal stuff. But we want to try and put out a bit more content. So if you think you have what it takes, if you want to become part of the team here on Anfield Agenda, here's what we need you to do. Fill out, or make a video, make a video, can be about anything you like. We just need to really see you in front of the camera talking and just see what your body language is like, see how comfortable you feel. You can make the video about whatever you want. Be creative. Doesn't have to be long, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's plenty of time. And send it to contact@anfieldagenda.com. Contact@anfieldagenda.com. And, you know, we'll watch the videos. If we think anybody's a good fit, we'll have a chat with them, we'll arrange a Skype call or whatever, have a conversation and see if we think that they're the right fit to get involved. So if you think that's you, open to everybody from any part of the world, male and female, doesn't matter. We don't have any preferences. Everybody's welcome to apply. And yeah, so options there. If you want to give it a bash, you know, we're happy to try and give you the platform if you're willing to give it a go. And I'd say, look, never be afraid to give it a go. I gave it a go 3.5, 4 years ago and didn't think I'd end up here, but hey, here we are. And you don't ask, you don't get. You don't try, you don't get. So give it a bash if you think it's for you. If not, well, hopefully you'll see a new host helping me out at some point during the season anyway. Right, so let's talk about Adama before I move on. I'd only take Adama if he's dirt cheap, said Connor. That's the Anfield Agenda account. Connor's on that today. That's kind of where I am as well, Connor. I mean, 25 mil, I think, alright. I can see it. I can understand that. But if you're getting into the 40 mils, no. I'd look elsewhere. What else we got? I don't want them, said Bobby Brennan. I think for 25 million we could get somebody younger and better, said Jaker. No. 2 injury prone, better option on the bench, said Liverpool 1708. Does it require editing? No. It's not. Like, we're not looking for somebody to make a Spielberg production. We just need to basically see how comfortable you are in front of a camera, see what your personality's like a little bit, just that kind of thing, just see if you'd be a good fit, and then we'd move on to stage 2, which would be a Skype call or whatever with myself and Connor. I know there's a few questions in about Jack. So here's the situation with Jack. Jack Gill, as I've said before, is a really nice guy. And Jack Gill, I had hoped, I can only speak for me here, I had hoped would be the one. I had hoped that Jack would be the one to come in and do the extra stuff. But sometimes in life, it's about timing. So I have no doubt in my mind that Jack will go on and he will do great stuff. But sometimes, and I don't want to speak out of turn because I have nothing bad to say about Jack. He's a lovely fella. And I feel honestly heartbroken that for whatever reason we haven't been able to move forward with it, because honestly we thought he was going to be the one, and I hoped he was going to be the one. So we're back to the drawing board, unfortunately. But again, a lovely guy, lovely fella, as honest as the day is long. Never ever will say a bad word about the young man, and I think he'll go on to do great stuff. I do. And yeah, I wish it was with us. I do. I genuinely do. Right, let's move off Adama. We'll get him off the screen. I'd rather get Jeremy Doku, said Alpha X-Raid. So would I, mate. 100%. I mean, in my eyes, go get Doku, sort out a midfielder, and get Jude Bellingham for next season. And we'll get on to Jude Bellingham in a little bit. Don't worry. We're upgrading Jude Bellingham from a double chew to a triple chew. Our first ever chew on the channel, so keep an eye out. As Connor said, get creative, impress us, make us laugh. People always want drama, work, other commitments, time issues are a thing. Exactly, there's no drama, there's no bad feeling, nothing but love. Again, I will never say anything other than the truth about Jack, which is that he is a damn fine lad, very funny, charismatic, charming, lovely lad. And that's the truth. There is no big drama to this. It's just a timing thing. Adama is so underrated, said Ebong Kingsley Ewing, excuse me. See, I don't know, is he underrated? I just think he's inconsistent. That would be my honest thing about Adama Traore, is that he's just really, really inconsistent. Sometimes I see him and I go, like Klopp has said, he can be unplayable. You know, he picks up the ball, he runs at people, and the only way you're stopping the man is by fouling him. But sometimes I just look at him and I just think that the end product, and by end product I usually mean that final ball, it just hasn't been good enough. And if you add into that the issues around the shoulder, I think probably moving away towards another option would be, in my opinion, a better thing to do. Would rather see Liverpool bring back Coutinho. Can we not get into this shite again? Like, literally, Marseille are being linked with Coutinho at this point. That is how far this lad's star has fallen. And yet there are still Liverpool fans who want him back. I can tell you, Coutinho will not be back at Liverpool. It's been put out there already that Klopp has already said no to that option. So don't worry about it. We won't be seeing him back at Liverpool anytime soon. Nor has he played any football since January because of a knee injury. And look, don't get me started. Please don't get me started on Coutinho. Can we talk about Tielemans? You bet your backside we can talk about Youri Tielemans. Right, let's get on to Tielemans. Where's the image? There we go. Look at him. He does look like a Liverpool player, doesn't he? I mean, I have to say. So, apparently he is a priority signing, and I think even the great Fabrizio Romano was speaking about this. Now, what I'd seen the other day was something that said that he would be very open to a move to Liverpool. And look, it's a tricky situation because Leicester are a fine football club, and Leicester are an ambitious football club, and Leicester are a football club with very good players that are trying to move in the right direction. But if you're Youri Tielemans and you've missed out so narrowly 2 seasons in a row in Champions League football, yes, you've won an FA Cup, he scored a banger, I mean one of the best FA Cup final goals you'll ever see. But I have to say, if they're willing to do business and there's a number that both clubs can work with, this man is probably at the very, very top of my midfielder list, because I think he is that missing piece. He is that creative player. Yes, we've got Thiago, but he can do something a little bit different as well. So I've been very impressed with him, and I was somebody that wasn't won over by Youri Tielemans for the longest time. I kept humming and hawing and saying, I don't know if he's good enough, I don't know if he's Liverpool quality. I have no doubts anymore. At 24 years of age, again, right age bracket to be looking at him. The big problem I see around Youri Tielemans is always going to be negotiating with Leicester City, because I'll say it like I've said it time and time again, they get top dollar for their players. Interestingly, look who they're looking at recently. Ozan Kabak, somebody who they're looking to bring in, somebody who we turned up our noses at, somebody who we could have had. Leicester think that he's worth taking a punt on. They've also obviously signed Patson Daka. So their recruitment has been top notch, and they signed, was he from Anderlecht when they signed him, or Standard Liège? I can't remember which one it was where they signed Youri Tielemans from, but he has turned into a fine player under the tutelage of Brendan Rodgers and in that Leicester City midfield. So to me, this summer, because Jude Bellingham is a next summer thing, this summer he'd be top of my shopping list for midfield. I've got to be honest. I'm fully converted about Youri Tielemans. So, what do you guys think? Monaco. He was at Anderlecht or Standard Liège at some point. I'm not imagining that. Yeah. I mean, okay. Granted, I got the Monaco stuff wrong, but yes, thank you for that. But he was at one of those clubs, wasn't he? I'm not deluded here. What is your setup tour? I don't even know what that means, Joe. Sorry, mate. Tielemans is what Naby should have been, said Bobby Brennan. Yeah, I mean, I wonder. We've seen Leicester linked with Naby before as well, so I wonder, is there something to be done there, perhaps? Now, you know, I know Oxlade-Chamberlain ain't gone anywhere this summer, but I've always had some doubts about Naby Keita and his availability. I mean, not, you know, I've been one of his biggest backers, but even I at this point I'm saying he just doesn't seem to be able to get a consistent run of games without picking up knocks in the Premier League for whatever reason. The club gave him extra time. You know, they looked into the medical issues, they tried to build up his body, work at his core strength, do a lot of stuff to try and help. And I just wonder if Leicester were really interested, if that might help smooth the passage to maybe... Now, of course, I've no idea if Naby Keita would be interested in the move to Leicester. There's that side of it as well, but For me, I would take him. Tielemans would be my number one priority in midfield for the position that we need. So if I was to put it in order, I'd probably go Tielemans, SAUL, Bissouma. I'd have Neuhaus bottom because I know very little about him. And the other one that we've spoken about was... I'm looking through my list here. Who's the other midfielder we keep speaking about? I know we spoke about the young lad from Ajax, but that's gone really quiet. Anyway, he'd be top of my shopping list, basically, is what I'm saying. Anderlecht, Monaco, Leicester. Thank you, Jasper. I thought I was going nuts, dude. I was saying to myself, I know he played in Belgium somewhere. But yeah, thank you, mate, because that would have bugged the hell out of me throughout the stream, so thanks for clearing that up. Football always said, do you have to show your face? Of course you have to show your face. That's the whole point of it. We don't do streams without you showing your face. So, if you don't feel comfortable showing your face, completely understandable. I know a lot of people make content where they put images up and talk over it, but that's not the type of content we make here on Anfield Agenda. We need you sitting in front of a camera, so yes, you do have to show your face. And look, it's also in your interest to be showing your face, because it's getting you out there, it's getting people used to seeing you, and it's a decent sized platform to be on. So but yeah, that you would have to, mate. Yes. And again, Football Always, thank you for your super chat, and again, thank you for your interest. Hi Craig, what's the cut-off date to send the video? There isn't any, mate. Do you know, even if excuse me about this cough, even if we do bring somebody in, the door's never closed here. We're always looking to keep carrying on, progressing and moving forward, so there's no cut-off date. At any point, feel free, always. If you feel like you want to join the team, whether it be, we could look for loads of different stuff. We could look for a social media guy or girl. We could look for somebody to help write articles at some point. I mean, we have ambitions. We have lofty ambitions for the channel, and bit by bit we'll unroll them as we move forward. What I would like to announce as well is that, as you can see, the Boyle Sports logo is no longer in the bottom corner of the screen. We'd like to say a massive thank you to Boyle Sports for backing us from, I think, October, November time when we started working with them. We've decided to move off in a different direction. We've got some new exciting stuff lined up for the season ahead, and after the Euros finished, that was the end of our working relationship with Boyle. But we would like to say a massive thank you to them for having faith in us, and I hope we delivered. And it was great working with the guys, Emer, Leon, and all the team at Boyle Sports. Absolute superstars. So nothing but love from us again to Boyle Sports, and thank you for everything. Yes, I just feel it's only right to address that and, say thank you to them as well. Weston McKennie, didn't he just move, by the way? He moved to Juventus, didn't he? From Schalke, if my memory's right. Seeing links to Zielinski. How long have the Zielinski links been around? Christ. Right, let's move on from Yuri Tielemans anyway, because we've loads more to get through. Anfield Agenda showing more interest for signings than the Glazers. I mean, to be fair, mate, you have got Jadon Sancho through the door, and it looks like the next one through the door at United could be Rafael Varane, so I wouldn't be getting too upset right now if I was a United fan. I mean, we've got Ibrahim Kanade, brilliant, but we needed a centre-back, so get Camavinga, said Alex Roach. I've always said to you, mate, my gut feeling was that Camavinga would end up at Paris Saint-Germain. Now, I know that Manchester United have also got an interest in this guy as per Fabrizio Romano, but my gut has always been that he'll end up at Paris Saint-Germain. Now, time will tell what happens there. Craig, Origi, 11 million move. Yeah, somebody sent this to me just before I came on air. Was it Borussia Mönchengladbach that are apparently interested in an 11 million quid move for Divock Origi? And look, this shouldn't come as any surprise to you guys. I've been saying to you for the longest time, Origi's available. If the right offer comes in, Liverpool are willing to do business. Same with Shaqiri, and it has been that way for a while. There's also been interest in Harry Wilson from a few clubs. I spoke to you guys about Porto showing interest in Harry Wilson. Well, I think Bournemouth are about to table around 10 million for Harry Wilson, or at least it's been reported that newly promoted Bournemouth are looking into the potential of signing him permanently, and I think a 10 million quid offer, which I don't know would that would be enough for Liverpool or not. I would probably suggest Liverpool would want a little bit more than that, but again, these are the players we've always spoken about that are on the, I won't say on the chopping table, but are, available for the right number. And it's not just about Liverpool not wanting these guys. It's about these guys wanting to play. And that's important. So whatever we think about Divock, or whatever you think about Shaqiri, or Wilson, or Grujic, or Ryan Kent in the past, or any of these guys, Nico Williams perhaps, as a footballer, I will never knock someone that wants to play football. If you're not getting a look in and you want to go elsewhere because you want to play football, to me, sound. If it's right for both parties, move on. Thank you for what you've done at our club and wish them all the best. That's the way I always look at these things. What is your setup? Sorry I didn't make it clear. So obviously I use a green screen. I have this chair, mate. I use a Rode NT USB microphone, which looks like this. And I've got a Rode boom arm as well. I use a Logitech Brio webcam. I use an iMac for my computer. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much my setup. I've got loads of other bits and pieces for if we're going out and about, and I've got a couple of LED lights as well that I use to illuminate and make sure the green screen works. And as for the studio, well, that's where the cost starts to mount up. If you wanted something like this and you were to approach a designer to make it properly, you wouldn't have much change out of $3,000 probably, to be honest with you. So now, I didn't pay $3,000, of course, because I'm a cheap bastard. But yeah, so that's kind of our setup. It's pretty straightforward. We use OBS, which is free for anyone who does want to start using green screens around. OBS, Open Broadcast Software, available for everyone to use. Some great add-ons and stuff you can do in there. But yeah, there's no big secrets to it. It's if you are thinking of ever starting a YouTube channel or anything, what I would say to you is, most importantly, be consistent. And by consistent, I mean, yes, with your content, but I also mean with your timing. Make sure people know when you're going to be on. Make sure they know what time your shows are. Make sure you deliver. Because without an audience, without the buy-in from the public, without the people getting behind you, buying into your story, believing in what you're doing and showing you support, you will never be anything. And that's what I've known from day one. I'm only here because of you. Without you, I am at anything. And I mean that sincerely. I know who butters my bread. I know that without you guys lifting us up and showing the love and support you have, Anfield Agenda would still be 800-900 subscribers. So that's one to keep in mind. Your audience are everything. Value them, remember them, cherish them, because they're the people that will make your future or not make your future, and they're the people who you need to respect more than anybody else. And that's one thing I've always looked to do, is respect our audience, because you're fucking great, basically. Craig Singh, hey Jude, I can't, mate, not today, not with the... I'm near the end of the antibiotics, so we're getting to the point. My daughter spent time at Camavinga in Mykonos in June. He doesn't speak any English. I'm not interested in the UK move, said John Warren. There you go. Thank you for that, John. Always love little bits of insight like that, sir. Mykonos, a beautiful place, by the way, in Greece. So yeah, thank you for that. And as I've always said, my gut feeling was that he'd end up at PSG, because let's say, for instance, PSG lose Kylian Mbappe, which it seems like they may well do. Whether it's this summer or next summer, that remains to be seen. But Camavinga could be the next big poster boy of French football, and they'll want him in Paris. They'll want him to stay in France. So I think they'll make a big play for him. Now, United will of course be in as well, but we'll move on. There's another one I want to talk about, by the way. Moving to the front line now, let's talk about this guy, Donyell Malen. So, what do we know? Well, we know that Borussia Dortmund are interested in Donyell Malen. We've known that for the longest time. We know that he's represented by Mino Raiola, and it's also being put out there, and I want to give credit to who put this out there, so bear with me 2 seconds. I'm trying to make sure I give people credit for their articles. Sorry, I don't like reading out something. Actually, I don't have an article on this one, so I don't know. Maybe this was from, again, Fabrizio or something. But what we do know is this, that... Actually, it was from Fabrizio. It was Fabrizio on Twitch, if I remember correctly. So Liverpool are interested and Dortmund are interested. And apparently Mino Raiola is speaking with both clubs around Donyell Malen. My gut feeling has always been he may well end up at Dortmund, because that's the game that Mino Raiola likes to play. So look at the Erling Haaland situation. So Salzburg went to Dortmund. He'll do his few years at Dortmund, and then he'll get his big money move to, I'm guessing, the Premier League somewhere, or Real Madrid if Real Madrid ever get their way, and then it's a payday all around. Dortmund will make a nice little profit on what they've bought the kid for. They'll have had the privilege of having him play for a few years. you know, and then he'll move on. Raiola got a payday, you know, rinse and repeat. And Donyell Malen, if he went to Dortmund, could be the same type of thing. So I'm always worried when Liverpool are linked with a Mino Raiola player, because that's the game he likes to play. He likes to keep his players moving, because if players move around clubs, they all keep getting paydays. So for me, if we sign Malen, I have no problem with the signing, but I just feel that in 2 or 3 years' time, we could see a headache. That's my feeling. And not because of the player, because of the agent. So that's my worry about this. So I think he could end up at Dortmund. They're going to also look to sell Julian Brandt. We've spoken about that one. We know Jadon Sancho's Manchester United bound, and they're keeping they have a fight in their hands to get Erling Haaland. Now, let me play 4D chess here for a second. So let's say we are both interested, and let's say the player wouldn't mind either club, and let's say both offers are similar, and let's say everything's fairly 50-50. Well, let's say as a gesture, and again, this is just me speaking out loud, as a gesture of goodwill, we say, okay, no problem, we'll step aside from Donyell Malen, you guys work away, but let us just ask you one favour. Give us first refusal on Jude Bellingham. Choo, choo, choo. Could be done. I'm not saying it's a fact, but I'm saying it's not the most outrageous thing you'd ever hear. So, yes, these are the type of things we need to keep in mind. And once I heard Dortmund were in for Donyell Malen, and I heard Raiola was his agent, in my mind things start clicking into gear, and you know what I mean? So I would be surprised if he doesn't end up at Dortmund. That's my gut feeling on it. How many fans are allowed in stadium next season? I believe full capacity, mate. I mean, from everything I've read, full capacity. Love that, Craig. Thank you, Addison. You know, I like to play Michael Edwards in my head at times. I like to go around thinking I am the big man, and yeah, that's the way I'd be entering into this. That's the way I'd be looking to do it. And look, again, let's move on now to Jude, because hey, Jude. Why not? Why not talk about Jude Bellingham? You know, I've been telling you guys for ages about Bellingham, and Liverpool are going to be interested in him and maybe going from next year. And opposition fans have told me I'm deluded. Now everybody's told me I know absolutely sweet Fanny Adams. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? Fabrizio was even admitting now that Liverpool are interested in this gentleman. Look at him, looking magnificent. Jude, don't worry, son. We'll see you soon. Next season, Anfield. You'll hear it belting off the cop. Hendo's doing the hard work, the hard yards with him during the Euros as well. That's the thing. They're not going to sell him this summer. I don't think that there is a price that will get Borussia Dortmund to sell Jude Bellingham this summer, and definitely not one that we'd be paying. But next summer, another season in the Champions League, another season with Dortmund, you know, more progression for the guy. And Jurgen Klopp's never opened up his little black book of Dortmund contracts while at Liverpool. Never once has he returned to his former employers. If he's going to do it, to me, this is the kid to do it for. Now, I've been told as well that he's completely open to the idea of joining Liverpool. Now, I'm not saying we've approached his representatives. I'm not saying we've spoken with his agent. Him, personally, I believe, would be very open to playing for Liverpool. We've heard him say before, one player he'd ever swap jerseys with, Steven Gerrard. I think it'll happen. This is the one I'm convinced about for next summer. Now, I don't think anything will happen this summer, and I've said this as soon as I revealed that I think we've interest. The next thing I said was we won't be signing him this summer, because everything that I've been told and read suggests that Dortmund don't want to do business this summer. They want to keep the kid for at least another year, because, you know, they've only brought him in from Birmingham. He's had a great first season. You've seen his progression as well. Even with England and the Euros, the bits and pieces he played, he did not look out of position. He did not look out of his level. And he's only going to get better and better and better. And I just think you look at a player and you think he's right for one club. I look at this dude and I see Liverpool written all over him. So I hope this doesn't come back to haunt me, but I have never given a triple chew before. This is the first triple chew. Is Jude his first name or his last? His name's Jude Bellingham, mate, so it would be his first. Me, love you too, Craig. Love you too, Joe. Thank you. Pedri, a lot of people are saying in the chat. Look, so, again, about Barcelona's Pedri. There's a bit of a dispute going on here, I think, between the camps. So, there's 1 year left on Pedri's contract at Barcelona. But there is an option for 2 more years. But the question seems to be, do both parties have to agree to trigger that 2-year extension? Or can Barca trigger it? I don't know the answer to that. It's one of the other reasons why I'd like to have a chat with Graham Hunter. Because, Graham Hunter is the font on all things Spanish football. And, fine player. No doubt about that. But to me, they only signed him from... Shit, I can't remember who they signed him from. They signed him from another Spanish club. Oh, I can't remember who it was now, and it's doing my head in. And the plan was for him to go into the under-23s, but he impressed so much that he got into the first team and started playing really well. And was linking up well with Messi. And showed that he was at that level. Went away to the Euros. Did really well there as well. So there's no denying Pedri would be an absolute baller for whoever signed him. But Barca will dig their heels in and make it really, really... Las Palmas, I think it was, yes. I think you're spot on there. Barca don't want to lose this guy, and why would they? He's an undoubted talent. They've got Messi, that contract is sorted out. That'll be finalised whenever they sort some money stuff out and he goes back from winning the Copa America. Congratulations to Leo Messi and Argentina on that one. So yeah, they won't want to lose him. There are players they'll be willing to move on. Himself and Ansu Fati and a couple of other young players they won't want to lose. So I don't know about that clause. There is a clause that has a 2-year option in it to extend, but I don't know if both sides have to agree to it. But I still think that Bellingham makes more sense. Think about it from a perspective of overseas players as well in the squad. Bellingham's English, so that will help. What else have we got? Sign anybody FSG. Chill, Philly, chill. It's all good, mate. We'll get signings over the line, mate. It's just, there's been a lot of competitions on. Copa America, the Euros. People have been on holidays. Time. It'll happen. Trust me. I'd say 2 more will come in the door. Right, so Jude Bellingham. Just to repeat for those who are a little bit late. Chew. Wait for it. Chew. Hey, Jude. That's the way I see this one going next summer. Would I take a winger? Would you take a winger for when the attackers go to the AFCON? Well, look, I get where you're coming from, and we will have an issue when Sadio goes to the AFCON, when Mo goes to the AFCON, when Naby goes to the AFCON. Obviously, Naby not being a winger, but we will lose players. But the good news is we're only going to lose those players at maximum for 2 Premier League games, and I think 1 or 2 domestic cup games. So the fixture list hasn't been too bad to us on that front. So I do think we want to bring in a wide player. I do think that is somewhat of a factor in the decision making, but I don't think it's the be all and end all of why we're looking to bring in a wide player. I mean, it would be very naive to sign somebody to cover for 2 games, really. But I do think you're right. I do think a wide player is the position that we're looking to do. And Fabrizio seems to think wide player, then midfielder. And to me, on top of Ibrahim Kanade, Harvey Elliott coming back, Queevy and Kelleher signing a new deal, maybe moving on some fringe players, I'd be quite happy. Now, there's still a lot of uncertainties. Ben Davies, what happens there? Nat Phillips, is he going to move on? Nico Williams, that's gone a little bit quiet. So there's still a few more uncertainties that may lead to possibly an extra signing. Now, with Nico Williams, it looks like the plan is apparently Joe Gomez and Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley, Northern Irish international. Again, great piece written by Caoimhe O'Neill about him in The Athletic. If you have an Athletic subscription, look that one up. It's a good piece, looking into his background and just showing how he's always been a couple of years ahead in his development. Craig, grow your hair, please. I'm not allowed to. My wife won't let me. Watch. Sabrina! Can I grow my hair? Did you hear that? It was emphatic. No! Honestly, she hates me with hair. She thinks I look scruffy. In fact, I'd go as far as to say she'd probably get the El Manscaped out and shave it during the night if I grew it. Sanchez and Traore are what Jake O'Rourke would like. Again, I have got a personal channel, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Mundo Sporto is dead, 'tis no more. But the channel's still alive. So if you're already subbed to Mundo Sporto, grand, you're all sound. But if you haven't, get yourselves over. New channel name is called, you ready? Craig Station. Oh, I do like that, ladies and gentlemen. Craig Station is the new channel. Connor will put a link into the chat right now for everybody to get over there and subscribe. We also have Anfield Agenda Extra, which is a clips channel as well. But yeah, Craig Station is going to be my new personal channel where I'm going to do a little bit of everything. So it won't really be sports based. It'll more be me talking about stuff that I find funny with people I find interesting. So it could be a chat about cheese and onion crisps. It could be, well, I do have a show that I'm planning, and I don't want to give away the title yet because it's pretty damn good. But yeah, so Craig Station, that's my new station, and get yourselves over, subscribe to it, search it on YouTube. Connor's going to put a link in the chat very soon, and he'll pin it to the live chat. There it is, boom, sub to Craig Station. So Mundo Sporto, 'tis no more. I think a lot of you can probably guess why Mundo Sporto is no more, but I can't say anything yet. But I think you can probably guess why Mundo Sporto is no more. So yeah, get over, sub to Craig Station. Might be a little bit of gaming on there, you never know. There will definitely be fun. And one thing I can promise you on there is positivity. Because I want to make you smile, I want to make you laugh, I want to make you do stupid things. And I'm going to embarrass the shit out of my family as well when we're out and about in public. So expect anything on there. Nothing is off limits. And if you have any suggestions for any content you'd like to see, as always, you guys are in charge, so let me know. What have we got? Any news on Minamino? No, actually, very good question. Kai Spears, excuse me. So Minamino's gone a little bit quiet. Now there was a story last week that suggested that Southampton were still interested in Takumi Minamino. And what I'm trying to think of what the link was to us to Southampton. Oh, Danny Ings, wasn't it? Yes, it was around Danny Ings to say that maybe, you know, if they want him, then, you know, maybe we could go back in for Danny Ings. I don't know, but it's a really cool question, mate, and one I'm almost embarrassed to say I don't really have much on around Takumi Minamino. I don't know what the plans are. I don't know whether he'll move on, but you know, I was a little bit surprised when he went out on loan. I thought we probably could have done with keeping him for the rest of the season, but I know Ralph Hasenhüttl has been impressed with him at Southampton, so you know, keep an eye on the situation. It's a very good vlogs, definitely. There will be a lot of vlogs and stuff like that. A lot of me doing stupid shit. So it could be something as simple as walking around the supermarket with my wife and just embarrassing her. Anything, like just anything will go on this channel. Obviously, nothing's off limits. Someone says Danny Olmo, very good player. I mean, I've said it before. What's that? Fake it red. I would have no issues with Danny Olmo. He's a very, very, very good player, but Doku would be my priority. But you know, again, another player we could put in the list of if we signed Danny Olmo, you wouldn't get any complaints from me about it, none whatsoever. Will Ben Davies get any game time? It seems, I read a piece the other day that said that, again, there have been advances from Celtic and a couple of other clubs to Ben Davies that have been rebuffed. So it looks like the plan is to have Ben Davies at the club. So we may actually get to see Ben Davies play football for Liverpool, which is intriguing because we haven't got to see him yet. Somebody saying any news on Sanchez? 1 second. So a Spanish outlet, or not a Spanish outlet, a French outlet, Le D Sport, have said that, you know, Liverpool are linked with him and Lille would let him go if the offer is satisfactory, yada yada yada. But Barcelona have also been linked with Renato Sanchez, as they've been linked with Saul. Apparently they're linked with everybody who we've been linked with. But again, I think it would take a fee of around 35 or 40 million quid to probably get Renato Sanchez, and Lille look like they're going to be stripped of a lot of their major assets. You know, they won the French First Division title, which is a huge achievement to beat PSG to that. So, you know, I could see why we'd be interested in Renato Sanchez, but to me it would be Tielemans, Saul, Sanchez. They'd be my top three in that order. Or have I? Yeah. Renato Sanchez. Yeah, I think that's what I said earlier on. I'm trying to remember what I said earlier on. Yeah, Barca are broke, absolutely. So all these players I see them linked with, the first thing I question is, well, they can't even sign the players that they've already signed. They can't even register them. So how are they going to go out there and sign SAUL? How are they going to go out there and sign Sanchez? How are they going to go out there and sign anyone they're interested in? They did move on. The guy that we were once linked with, Junior Firpo, did he move to the Premier League? I know Firpo's moved somewhere. I think it might be to the Premier League. Do you remember we were linked with him when he was at Real Betis, but he joined Barcelona? But yeah, he's moved on as well. So they are starting to release and move on some players. Would I take Nkunku at Liverpool? From what I've seen of him at Leipzig, I don't think he's good enough, mate. So for me, it would be a no. Vernon said Doku, he's, for me, top of the pile, mate. He's number one winger target as far as I'm concerned. Oh, he went to Leeds, there you go. I knew it was a Premier League club, I just couldn't remember where it was. SAUL, Tielemans, Sanchez is Jacob's order. Would I take Coutinho back? Yeah, no. I'm not even going to elaborate on that one anymore. Why is Mundo Sporto disbanded? I thought it was doing good. It's been changed into my personal channel. And look, I think it's really obvious why Mundo Sporto isn't going to be there anymore. But I can't say anything yet because nothing has been signed off on yet. But, you know, I think you know where I'm going with this. I think, I can't speak out of turn here, but, you know, you got a little flavour over the summer. And YouTube ain't ready. Let me just put it that way. YouTube ain't ready. I can't say anything else. But, you know, read between the lines there. Do you know what I mean? There could be a here we go in the next week or two. Did I see the pre-season fixture list? Yes. And again, Addison, thank you for reminding me of that, dude. So yes, Liverpool have released the pre-season fixture list for the pre-season, surprisingly enough, which is where you release your pre-season list for. So this is what's happening. On Tuesday, July the 20th, Liverpool are playing a couple of mini 30-minute games against Wacker Innsbruck, who are an Austrian side, and then against Stuttgart. So we're playing Wacker Innsbruck at 5 p.m, and then I'm sure there'll be a swap over of personnel, and we're playing Stuttgart at 5:45 p.m. Both of those games are going to take place behind closed doors. Then on Friday, July 23rd, Liverpool are going to be playing Mainz at the Greisbergers Arena in Grodig with a 3,500 capacity. And then Thursday, July 29th, we will be playing Hertha Berlin at the Tivoli Stadium in Innsbruck with a 15,000 capacity. So there you go. That is the pre-season fixture list that has been put out so far by the club. Have I got a BG for Craig Station yet? I thought... Oh my mind is so dirty, Mick. I thought you said, have I got a BJ? And I'm thinking, nah, the missus has been busy, but, you know, I'm just a dirty-minded SOB. I don't know what... A background, is that what you mean? No, we haven't even looked into that yet, mate. We've got a logo, though. I mean, there's the logo. For those of you that may not have seen it yet, that's the logo. And there was another thing I wanted to say. So Pep Lijnders is keeping a diary in pre-season, and the diary is being published, and this is what he said. I have to be honest, I love the pre-season. For the manager and the coaching staff, this is the moment where the new ideas and the good old ones are developed. Firstly, it's all about creating habits and showing our standards. We say a big welcome to Ibrahima Kanade. Just listen to James Milner and everything will be fine. There you go. So already, you know, that's great stuff there from Pep Lijnders to Ibrahima Kanade. Just listen to Jimmy Milner and everything sound. Also, it's a trusted welcome to all the boys who come back from their loan clubs. Your experiences for sure will make us stronger during the pre-season. Then for all the young talent who've come with us, our message is enjoy it. Keep updated. The phrase of Bob Paisley in your mind. We search for a player, nutmegs Virgil van Dijk in training, but steps politely aside for him in the corridor. Some football rules will never change. That's what I love so much about this game. And for all the others, let's show why we are Liverpool in each session, and success will follow. I absolutely fucking love Pep Lijnders, by the way. What a coach, what a man. And that's a lovely addition from the club to know that Pep Lijnders is going to be publishing a diary throughout the course of pre-season. So I'd urge you to keep a read of it, because he has a very, very, very sharp football mind, Pep Lijnders. And, you know we all talk about Stevie G as potentially the Jurgen Klopp replacement down the line, and that is the dream. But what I will say to you is, do not rule Pep Lijnders out of that equation, because he is a damn good coach. Jared, I can't say anything, mate. I mean, you've put it in comments there, mate, but you know, nothing has been confirmed as of yet. Insert googly eyes emoji. Okay, Siri, relax. I didn't ask you to do that in there, love. Calm down. Background, no, Mick. We haven't got a background sorted out yet. It'll probably be basic bitch stuff, though, Mick. Do you know what I mean? It'll probably be, you know, a black background for some stuff, or it'll just be me talking to camera, unless, of course, I have a guest and I want to line up some fun guests. So do we like the Craig Station logo? Give me a thumbs up if you like it, give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. Either way, I don't care because it's not changing, but I'm just genuinely interested to see if you like it or don't like it. Craig, is legit about Tielemans coming to Liverpool from Leicester, and how much do you think Leicester will let him go for? So, from what I've seen, he's open to it. I don't know. Leicester won't want to lose him, of course, but, you know, at the end of the day, footballers have short careers and clubs generally don't stand in the way if they get an acceptable offer and the player says to them, I'd like to move on. So, I would imagine the number will be somewhere between 50 and 60. That would be a guess. But there does seem to be some momentum gathering around it. But then again, there's a lot of momentum gathering around Saul Niguez from Atleti as well. So, you know, watch this space is all I'm saying. And we'll see what happens. But I won't tell you any lies. I don't know. What have we got? Craig, can you repeat the Tielemans situation? I just did. Craig Station mods. Again, they'll be the same ones. Whoever were mods on Mundo Sporto are ones that we trust. So we will we'll keep them there. Now the thing about Craig Station is, I love even saying it, makes me smile. I'd say the majority of the videos that we put up on there will be pre-recorded. I'd go as far as to say most likely 90% of the stuff will be pre-recorded stuff, because it will either be interviews or stuff filmed out and about, or me pranking the family, or a few other show ideas that I have in mind. And yeah, just watch this space. It's going to be lots of fun. But please do go over and sub to it. The link is at the top of the chat right there now. And again, just to repeat for those coming in late, we are looking for somebody to help out here on Anfield Agenda for the upcoming season. So if you fancy yourself as a bit of a host or hostess, we are looking for somebody probably to do maybe a video during the daytime, a few times a week, stuff like that. And so if you are interested, here's what we need from you. Just send us a video between 1 and 3 minutes long. Can be you sitting in front of a camera talking about whatever you like. Now, you know, just use your phone. You don't have to be overly dramatic here. We're not looking for a Spielberg type production. But we just need to see what your personality's like. Be creative. Have a bit of fun. You know us on the channel here. Nothing's off limits. So send it to contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. Contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. We'll look through all the videos. If we think anyone's a good fit, we'll get back to them. We'll move on to a Skype call and we'll go from there. So if you think that's you or somebody that you know, please put them in touch with us. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what the future may or may not have in store. Would I take Chiesa? He's a good player, of course. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say Chiesa's not a great player. His father was a very good player as well. But you know what? I would take him. I would. I'm usually nervous, but yeah, I would. Yes, I'm loving the thumbs up. Thank you. I was pretty nervous, but there we go. Some thumbs up about the logo. You love to see it. Can we talk about the greatness of James frickin' Milner? Said Liz. I mean, I'm all about Jimmy Milner, love, Liz. James Milner is, yeah, he's the man, isn't he? James Milner. I mean, a lot of people are thinking he might move on this summer, but I've always been adamant in saying Klopp loves Milner. And you cannot put a price on having James Milner in and around the squad. You know, there is no more reliable fella to either see out a game, to get the personnel hyped, to teach a little bit of shithousery, to bring professionalism, to be a role model to younger footballers and how you go about yourself and look after yourself. I mean, love James Milner. Love him. And James Milner can do whatever James Milner wants to do. That's my look on James Milner. Love him. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've gone through everything that I wanted to go through tonight. I don't think there's anyone I've missed out on. Let me just quickly look back. Again, for those coming in late, here's a couple of shots of the Reds in pre-season. Mohamed Salah looking magnificent. Lovely to see him back smiling. Harvey Elliott back as well from his loan at Blackburn, which is great to see. Ibrahima Kanade, who has made the best reveal video I've ever seen, and he made it himself with his mates, which was absolutely class. And Virgil van Dijk as well. We also do know that he'll be wearing the number 5 shirt this season, Ibrahima Kanade. Obviously Danny Agger, Gini Wijnaldum have worn it before him. And look, if there's ever been a better reveal video for a player's number, I ain't seen it. Especially one done by the lad himself and his mates. It was perfection, and a great way to introduce himself to the Liverpool fan base. So look, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for tonight. But the Euros are over, so we'll be back doing this on a nightly basis. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Don't forget, go over and subscribe to Craig Station. Link at the top of the chat. And I'll see you guys soon. But there's lots and lots and lots of great stuff coming up over the season ahead. Thank you very much. Take care. Lots of love. Be well.